Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to MyMax Academy. In this video, we'll continue with Chapter 1 Relations and Functions from 12th Standard CBSE Mathematics. We will continue from example 6 in your textbook, page number 4. So, example 6 in your textbook, page number 4. Right, so what is given in that is, so we'll write the given condition in the problem. So what is given in the problem is, let R be the relation defined on the set A. So there is a set A which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 defined by, there is a relation R defined on this set, and the relation R is defined by set of all A comma B such that both A and B are either odd or even. Either both are odd or even. So which means two elements are related, A comma B. A comma B, A is related to B when both A and B are both odd numbers or both are even numbers. So which means 1 is related to 1 because 1 and 1 are odd numbers. Then 2 is related to 2. Even 2 is related to 4 because 2 and 4 are even numbers. Or 1 is related to 3 or 1 is related to 5. 5 is related to 3. Right? So which means this R will have elements like 1 comma 1, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 5, 1 comma 7, then 3 comma 1 or 2 comma 2, 2 comma 4, 2 comma 6. So either both the elements are either odd or either even. So it will have elements like suppose 1 comma 3 it will have because both are odd. So this element will be in this set. Or it may have something like 2 comma 6 because 2 and 6 both are even. So which means, so this R, an element A is related to B if both are odd or both are even. Both are odd or both are even. Here A is 3, then B should, sorry, A is 1, B is 3. Here A is 2, B is 4. Either both A and B are both together even or together odd. So which means you cannot have an element like this 1 comma 4, 1 comma 4 will not be in this set because 1 is odd, 4 is even. Both have to be either odd or both have to be even. Only then they are related. So that's how the definition of the relation is. Now what we should show, so what we have to prove? So to prove is, we have to prove that R is an equivalence relation. R is an equivalence relation. That is point number 1 that we should prove. And the second one that we should prove is, further all the elements of the subset are related to each other and all the elements of subset 2, 4, 6. So we should prove that all the elements of the subset, what is the subset? 1, 3, 5, 7. This is a subset of this set, A set. So all the elements of this subset are related to each other, are related to each other. And the third is, we should prove that all the elements of the subset which have only the even numbers 2, 4 and 6 from this are related to each other. Then the third one that we should prove is, or the fourth one that we should prove is, no element of 1, 3, 5, 7 is related to 2, 4, 6. No element of the subset 1, 3, 5, 7 is related to any element of related to any element of the set 2, 4 and 6. So these are the 4 things that we need to prove in this problem, right? So proof. So proof is, I'll write here, the proof is our solution. We have to first prove R is an equivalence relation. Now to prove R is an equivalence relation, we must prove that R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Right? We must prove that this relation right, satisfies the condition or the definition of reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Now first one is what? For reflexive, we should prove that any element that we take from the set A comma A should be in R. This is the definition for reflexive relation. Now which means first is we should prove that, so first proof for the first part, right? So we should prove A, I will say first A, we need to prove reflexive. We need to prove that it is reflexive. So which means that is the A part. In the first, there are three parts A, B, C. A is to prove reflexive, B is to prove symmetric, C is to prove transitive. Right? Now we need to prove reflexive, which means we need to prove that this relation is reflexive. Now how do we prove that it is reflexive? Now let's take an element. So we'll take an element from A. Let A belongs to A. I'm taking an element A from the set A. Then what I should prove? I should prove that A comma A belongs to R. A comma A belongs to R. Now when I take an element A from the set A, right, small a denotes the element, capital A denotes the set. So if I take an element A from A, then A is, then A and A. Now if you go with the definition of, then both A and A, I am taking A, again A, are either odd or even, right? If I take an element from, any element from A, then A and A, which means there are two elements, I am taking the same element again, right? So A and A, both are what? Both are odd or both are even, right? We cannot have this A as odd and this as even because both are the same number. So which means the one single number, which means that which is A and A, but it will be there in this, in this 1 cross 1, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, all these elements. It denotes all these elements. So which means if I take 1 comma 1, 1 and 1 are, both are odd. If I take 2, 2 and 2, both are even. If I take 3, 3 comma 3 should be in R. If I take 4, 4 comma 4 should be in R. That's what we are going to prove. Right? So which means both A and A are either odd or even, which means it satisfies this condition. Both A and B here it is both A and A, which means A comma A will be in R. So this implies A comma A will belong to R for every A belonging to A. So we have proved that A comma A is in R because these two elements are related if and only if both are odd or both are even. So A means if A is odd, this A is also odd because A is so one and the same element. 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, we cover all those elements. 4 comma 4, 5 comma 5, or 6 comma 6. 6 is related to 6 because both are even. So therefore we can say R is reflexive. R is a reflexive relation. So we have proved that. Now first B part, right? In first subdivision, the B part. B part is we need to prove symmetric. We need to prove symmetric. So for symmetric, how do we start? We will take an element from the relation R and we will show that the reverse of the element. We will take an element A comma B from R and we will show that the reverse of the element, which is B comma A, should be in R. Right? So how do we start? We will say let A comma B belongs to R. So I am taking one element from the relation R and we must prove that the reverse of that element, which is B comma A, should be in R. Right? To prove B comma A should be in R, we should prove that B and A are either odd or even. To prove A comma B, this is the definition. To prove B comma A is in R, I should show that both B and A are either odd or even. So if I take an element from R, so this means what? If any element that is present in R means it will satisfy this condition, which means both A and B are either odd or even. I can write that. Both A and B, right? Here also we can put this, are either odd or even. Which means both A and B are odd or both are even. One cannot be odd, the other one cannot be even. So which means this implies both B and A are either odd or even. If I say A and B are either odd or even, I can also say B and A are either odd or even, right? Which means B and A both are either odd or both are either even. So this means, so we have got this definition now. Then we can write this, right? So which means this implies when B and A are either odd or even means B comma A comma B means A and B should be either odd or even. Now we have got B and A are either odd or even means B comma A belongs to R. So we started from A comma B belonging to R. We proved B comma A belongs to R. Therefore, R is symmetric. Symmetric means symmetric relation. R is a symmetric relation. Now, next is we have to prove for transitivity, right? So, C part. C is we need to prove for transitivity, and we need to prove transitive. We need to prove transitive. Now, how do we prove for transitive? For transitive, we will take two elements like this. If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, then we have to show that A comma C belongs to R. If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, this is the definition of transitive. Then we must show that A comma C belongs to R, which means we should first take two elements like this from our relation R. So let A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R. Right? We are taking two elements A comma B from R and B comma C from R. Now we should prove that A comma C belongs to R. Now here, when A comma B belongs to R, this means that A comma B belongs to R means both A and B are either odd or either odd or even. And B comma C belongs to R means, so this is for this, both A and B are either odd or even for this, right? Now suppose we'll take if A and B, we have two cases. Now if A and B both are odd, then what happens? If A and B both are even, what happens? If A and B are both odd, right? If A and B are both odd, then B comma C belongs to R. They have given B comma C belongs to R, which means B is also, if both A and B are odd, right? Also B comma C belongs to R. When B comma C belongs to R, then B and C both are odd or even. But B is what? B is odd. A and B both are odd means B is odd. If B is odd, C has to be odd, because B comma C belongs to R. When B comma C belongs to R, both B and C should be odd or even. Now we are taking one case where here when both A and B are either odd or even. Now we are taking, suppose if both are odd, then what happens? If both are odd, then A and B both are odd, then B comma C belongs to R. So B is odd. So then C is also odd. So this means B comma C belongs to R. This means B is odd. This implies C is also odd. This implies C is also odd. Because B is odd and B comma C belongs to R means C also should be odd. So now what we have got? Now we have got A is odd, B is odd and C is also odd. Which means this implies A and C both are odd. What we have got? We have got both A and B both are odd, because here A is odd, B is odd. The moment B is odd, since B comma C belongs to R, that will make C also as odd, because two elements are related. Two elements B and C, B comma C will be in R only if both are odd or both are even. Since here B is odd, so C must be odd. So therefore A is odd, C is also odd. So A and C both are odd. If A and C are both are odd, this will imply A comma C belongs to R. A comma C belongs to R. This is the case when we can even put case 1 here. Case 1 when both A and B are odd, then this is what happens. Now case 2 for this, both A and B are even. Odd case we have done. Now even, if both are even, what happens? If A and B both are even, when both are even, case 2 of this, when both are even, right, then B is even. A and B both are even means B is even. A is even, B is even. When B is even, then B comma C belongs to R. Also, B comma C belongs to R. Now B is even. When B is even, C also must be even. When B is even, C also must be even, because B comma C belongs to R. Right? B comma C belongs to R. So B is even means C also should be even. This implies C is also even. Now what we have got? We have got A is even, B is even. Since B is even and B comma C belongs to R, means that will make C as even, because two elements are related when both are even or both are odd. The moment B is even and B comma C is in R, means C also should be even. So which means C is even. Now we have got A is even and C is even. This implies A comma C belongs to R. So in both the cases, this case 1 and case 2, for both the cases, when A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, we have proved A comma C belongs to R. Therefore, R is transitive. Therefore, R is transitive relation. Fine. So we have, now we will write the conclusion, like since, right? So let me draw one more column here. So I will say since R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, therefore R is an equivalence relation. R is an equivalence relation. Now we have proved this one, first one. Now what we should do, all the elements of this are related to each other, we should say. All the elements of the subset this are related to each other, which means we should prove 1 is related to 3, 1 is related to 5, 1 is related to 7, 3 is related to 1, 3 is related to 3, all that we will have to prove. So now second part. Second part is subset 1, 3, 5, 7 have all odd numbers. Subset this have all odd numbers. Therefore, every element of, so therefore every element is related to every other element. This subset has all odd numbers. The subset 1, 3, 5, 7, this subset has all odd numbers, which means every element is related to every other element, because 1 will be related to 3 because 1 and 3 both are odd, and the relation is both two numbers will be related if both are odd or both are even. So any two numbers that we take, that will be odd, so they will be related. Any two numbers will be related to each other. So same argument we can write for the third part, which is this subset 2, 4, 6. So we'll say subset 2, 4, 6 has all even numbers. Therefore, every element is related to every other element. Of the subset, which means 2 is related to 2, 2 is related to 4, 2 is related to 6, 4 is related to 2, 4 is related to 4, 4 is related to 6, and so on and so forth. So which means, because if you take any two elements from this set, they will be both will be even, both will be even. Any two elements that you take, both will be even. Any two elements. Then which means both are even. This condition is satisfied. A and B both are even. Both are even, they will be in this set R, which means they are related. They are related. Now the fourth part. Fourth part, what you have to prove, that no element in this is related to any element in this. The same things, right? Subset 1, 3, 5, 7 has all odd numbers, and subset 2, 4, 6 has all even numbers. Therefore, no number in this will be related to any number in this, because if 1 cannot be related to 2, if you take one number from here and one number from here, 1, 2 will not be in this set, because both 1 and 2 are not both odd or both are even. 1 is odd, 1 is even, right? So no element in this set is related to this set or vice versa, right? Because as all number and subset this has even numbers, therefore no element of 1, 3, 5, 7 is related to any element of the set 2, 4 and 6, right? No element. So no element of 1, 3, 5, 7 is related to any element of 2, 4, 6, because this set has only odd numbers, this has only even numbers. So if we take one element from the odd number set and one element from even number set, they will not be related, because for the relation both have to be odd or both have to be even. So this is the proof for example 6. Fine. So you all can pause the video and take the notes. We will continue. I'll go to the next one, which is our exercise. The next one is exercise 1.1. Exercise 1.1. 1.1 in page number 5 in your textbook. So first it has many subdivisions. So first problem, first subdivision. So there is a set A given. So given is what? Given is set A. A is 1, 2, 3, ... 13 and 14. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 14. And the relation R on A is defined as set of all x comma y such that 3x minus y equal to 0, where x and y are coming from set A. X and y are coming from set A. Now what we should check? We should check whether it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. We have to check whether this relation is reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Now how do we check that? Solution. We have to check that whether this relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Let's try to write the set first. See, sometimes it is easy when you write the set, the relation set, because this is given in the set builder form. We'll write it in the roster form. So R will be what? What and all elements will come which will satisfy this condition. 3x minus y equal to 0 means what? I can write 3x minus y equal to 0 as y is equal to 3x. I can write as y equal to 3x. Now, again your R is what? R is a subset of A cross A. A cross A will be what? What is A cross A set? 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5 till 1, 14, then 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4 till 2, 14, then 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4 till 3, 14, and then it goes on till 14, 1, 14, 2, ... 14, 14. So it will have 14 into 14, 196 elements in the set A cross A, and from those elements we have to check which elements will satisfy this condition. Which ordered pair will satisfy that condition. Now 1, 1. If it is 1, 1, substitute x is equal to 1 here, y equal to 1 here. Does it satisfy this? Which means 3 into 1 is 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, but we need to get 0. So it doesn't satisfy. Then we should do 1, 2. So if we keep putting, no, we can't check for all the 196 elements. It will take some time. I mean, it will take huge time. Right? So what we can do instead is to write the relation. What we'll do is we'll substitute the value for x. We'll put x as 1. X's starting value is 1. Put x as 1. When x is 1, y is what? 3. So when x is 1, y is 3. So 1, 3 will be in this set because it will satisfy this condition. 3 into 1 minus 3. Then put x is equal to 2. When x is 2, what is y? When x is 2, my y becomes 6. So 2, 6 will be in this set. When x is 3, y is 9. And both these elements, 3 and 9, should be in this set. That is important. The next is y is 4. If you put y as 4, sorry, x as 4, x is 4. If you put x 4, then y is 12. You should always write as x comma y. First x, then y. Then we will put x is equal to 5. If I put x is equal to 5, y becomes 3 into 5, which is 15. But 15 is not in the set. So we cannot write, if I put x is equal to 5, I get y as 15. Then if I put 6, I will get 6 comma 18. But a has only till 14. So you cannot write any, so these two elements that you are writing, these two elements should be in a. Because whatever elements you are taking and checking, these elements will be in a cross a, must be in a cross a. This element is not in a cross a. Cartesian product a cross a, because 15 is not in a. So this element is not there in a cross a. So we cannot write with this element. So both these numbers should come from a, should be in a. Here 5 is there, but 15 is not there. So we cannot write this. So we have to stop here. Because others number, if I can keep on putting, after 4 I can put 5, 6, everything, but everything will exceed. The y value will be more than 14. So this is our R. Now we should check whether it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Now first to check reflexive, what do? We will say to get reflexive, we should prove that a comma a belongs to R for every a in A. For every element a. Every element I take from a, if I take 1, then 1 comma 1 should be in R. If I take 2, 2 comma 2 also should be in R. Now let's take 1. 1 comma 1 is there? No. Even 2 comma 2 is not there, 3 comma 3 is not there. But that doesn't matter. Even if you find one element which is not there, then we can say it is not reflexive. So we'll say 1 belongs to A set, 1 is in A set, but 1 comma 1 does not belong to R. Therefore, R is not reflexive. You can even say 5 belongs to A, but 5 comma 5 does not belong to R, therefore R is not transitive. Even if you take one element and show that it is failing, it is considered as the proof for R is not reflexive. To say that something is wrong, you just need to take one example and say it is not right. But if you have to prove something, you can't take one example and say no, for this example it is satisfying, so it is true. No. For proof, if you want to prove something, you have to write the proof. But if you want to disprove something, if you want to say that something is not right, then you can just take one example, one element which is not satisfying the condition. A comma A is not in R, but A comma A should be in R, belongs to R. Then only it is reflexive, but here it is not. It is not reflexive. Right? So now we have to check whether it is symmetric. Now we'll say again 1 comma 3. We'll take this element. For symmetric, we should take an element from the relation R. First, we should take an element from R, and we should show the reverse is in that element. The reverse, and then if it is true for every pair, then we can say it is symmetric. Even if it fails for one pair, we will say it is not symmetric. Now let's take 1 comma 3. See 1 comma 3. This element belongs to R, but 3 comma 1, the reverse, does not belong to R because 3 comma 1 is not there. Therefore, R is not symmetric. Fine. Therefore, R is not symmetric. Now, transitivity. Should to prove transitivity or disprove transitivity, whatever. To prove transitivity, we have to check for all the elements, or we have to write the proof. Either we have to check this condition for all the elements, or we should write a general proof to say that something is transitive. Suppose to say that it is not transitive, we can try to find one pair of elements from R, like A comma B and B comma C, and then show that A comma C is not in R. Then we can say it is not transitive. So now let's observe these elements. 1 comma 3. Is there an element which is starting with 3? Which is this? So this is like A comma B, B comma C. So let's take this now. What is a comma b, b comma c? A comma b in R, b comma c is in R. So a comma c is in R, which is 1 comma 9 is in R. No, it's not there. So we'll take that element, that particular pair of elements from R, and we will say that it is not transitive. So for transitivity, to disprove transitivity, we'll take 1 comma 3 is in R, and this is a comma b is in R. Then b comma c belongs to R, but a comma c, because this is your a, this is your a, b, this is b, c. See, these two numbers should match. If it is ending with 3, it should start from 3. So a comma b belongs to R, b comma c belongs to R, but a comma c does not belong to R, because 1 comma 9 is not in this relation set R. Therefore, we can say, therefore R is not transitive. Therefore R is not transitive, which means R is not a transitive relation. So here, in this case, it is none. In this case, it is none, which means it is not reflexive, not symmetric, and not transitive. So neither symmetric, nor neither reflexive, not symmetric, not transitive. So all the three fail here. So now next one. Let's go to the next problem. In the first problem, second subdivision. First problem, second subdivision. And what it says is R is a relation in the set n of natural numbers. So R is a relation on. So our set A is n. N is set of all natural numbers. Natural numbers are what? They start from 1. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes on. Dot. Now I will put it as a like this stylish here. This denotes set of all natural numbers. Natural numbers we know start from 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes on. A relation R is defined on that set. And what is the relation? It's a relation R on n is set of all x comma y such that y is equal to x plus 5 and x is less than 4. And where both x comma y, they should belong to the set of natural numbers n, stylish n. Right? Now we should check whether this relation is reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Right? So how do we check this? Now we will try to see if we can write the relation in the. So this is given. This is given. This is solution. So this is given. And solution. Solution is what? Now x is less than 4. Let's start writing the R set. So whenever they ask you to check whether it is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, see if you can write this R in the roster form, which means can we list the elements. This is given in the set builder form. Can we list the elements if it is a finite set, if it is a small set, or if it is a small set. If it is a big set or infinite set, then we cannot list all the elements. Right? So at that time we have to keep it in this form only, and we have to prove or check. But here we will try to see x is less than 4. So which means x can take values 1, 2 and 3. From this entire set, naturally x and y both are coming from it. So which means our x is less than 4 is given, which means x can be 1. So let's put x is equal to 1 first. If I put x is equal to 1 first, 1 plus 5 is y becomes 6. When x is 1, y is 6. When x is 1, y is 6. Now let's put x is equal to 2. So when x is 2, y becomes 2 plus 5 is 7. Then we will put x is equal to 3. When x is 3, y becomes 8. Now then x is equal to 4 we cannot take, because x should be less than 4. Which means they say the first number, x is the first number here, right? The ordered pair. That should be less than 4. Which means we can't put 4, and then if I substitute 4, y becomes 9. 4 comma 9 I can't write, because x cannot be 4. So this is your R. This is your relation in the roster form. Now what we should check? We should check for reflexive. Now is it reflexive? We'll take one element from n. This is our set A. On whichever set that relation is defined, right? That we call it as A set here. Here our A set is natural numbers n. Now we should take an element from n and check this 1 comma 1 is here. We can take any element. Need not be always 1. right? I can take 2 also and say 2 comma 2 is not here. Therefore, it is not reflexive. So, we will say 2 belongs to n, set of all natural numbers, stylish n. But 2 comma 2 does not belong to R because 2 comma 2 is not here. It has only these 3. Therefore, R is not reflexive. R is not a reflexive relation. Fine. Now we have to check whether it is symmetric or not. See, we don't know here whether it's symmetric or not. If we know, then we can write the proof for symmetric, or if we know that it is not symmetric, we can try to take one example like this and show that this condition is not satisfied, so that it is not symmetric. But if you don't know, we just give it a try to disprove it. If I don't know whether it is symmetric or not symmetric, then first generally we will try to see whether we can disprove, whether can we find some elements where this condition is failing, if that is easy. Right, here it is easy to take that because 1 comma 6 belongs to R. See, 1 comma 6 belongs to R, but the reverse, 6 comma 1 does not belong to R because 6 comma 1 is not there. Therefore, you can say R is not symmetric, which means symmetric relation. Right? Therefore, it is not a symmetric relation. Now, the last part, the last one, we have to check whether it is transitive. So, this relation we have to check whether it is reflexive, symmetric, transitive. We are checking. It may be reflexive, not reflexive. So, here it is not reflexive, here it is not symmetric. Now, transitivity, it may be transitive or it may not be transitive. We have to check that. Now, for transitivity, what should we take? We should take, see, the R has only 3 elements. So, you can check manually whether this condition is satisfied. You need not write a general proof like this to prove transitivity or to disprove transitivity, you can give an example. Right? Now, we don't know whether it is transitive or not. We will see any element can we get like this form so that A comma C is not there. First, we should check whether we can get 2 elements, which is in the form of A comma B and B comma C. Now, let's take them. This is like if I take this as A comma B, 1 comma 6. Now, I need to check any element is starting with 6. Because this is A comma B, then I should get B comma C. B is 6. So, anything starting with 6? No. So, I cannot take this element, leave this. Then here, 2 comma 7. A is 2, B is 7. Any element starting with 7? Then only I will have B comma C. 7 comma something should be there. This is 2 comma 7. Then I should have 7 comma something. But that is not there. So, we will leave this also. Then take this 3 comma 8. This is like A comma B. B is 8. So, A comma B I have got. Now, we should find B comma C. B comma C means the element should start from 8 comma something should be there. Is 8 comma something is there? First element is nowhere 8. So, which means we are unable to find such a pair. If you are unable to find such a pair and if A comma C is not in R, you can say it is not transitive. Suppose if you are unable to find such unable to find 2 elements in this form, then you cannot even check this condition. To say that this condition fails, you should be able to first find 2 elements like this and then say that this is not there. If you are not able to find these 2 conditions, because that's why it says if this is true, then this has to be true. But here this itself is not true, which means we are not able to find 2 elements like that. Which means the complete statement, we call it as complete statement. You would have studied in your 11th standard on the mathematical reasoning chapter, right? If condition itself fails, the given condition itself is not there means we cannot say it is not transitive. We should say that it is transitive. So we'll write the general definition and say, because we are not able to find the elements like this. If there are 2 elements like this, and then if we are not able to find A comma C, then we will say it is not transitive. If not, it is transitive. Right? To prove it is not transitive, you should be able to find 2 elements like this, A comma B and B comma C, and A comma C should not be in R. Only then you can say that it is not transitive. Here we are unable to find 2 elements. Then only I can check whether A comma C, since we are unable to find A comma B and B comma C, no element is in that form, A comma B and B comma C. Therefore, we can say it is transitive. Therefore, we cannot say it is transitive. Don't think that no, I am not able to find these two elements, so it is not transitive. No. The proof to say that it is not transitive, you should find two elements, and the third element, which is A comma C, should not be in R. Then you can say it is not transitive. Suppose, there are three cases. One is you will be able to find these two elements like this, and you will say, and A comma C is also in R. If it is true for every pair of elements like A comma B and B comma C, but you are finding A comma C in R, you can say it is transitive. That is one case. Second case is, if you are able to find these two elements, A comma B and B comma C, but A comma C is not there in R, means you will say it is not transitive. So these two are very clear. Now the third case is, suppose I am not able to find these two elements at all, then also it is transitive. Then also it is transitive, because it becomes non-transitive or not transitive only when you find two elements and then A comma C does not belong to R. Only in that case it becomes not transitive. If I am unable to find two elements, or if you are unable to find two elements in this, which is in this form, A comma B and B comma C, then it is transitive. So we'll write the definition. If A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. Therefore, R is transitive. So what we are saying here is, if these two elements exist, then this will exist, we are saying. If these two elements don't exist, then we can't say whether it exists or not. We can't conclude this. Right? So which means it is transitive. You can't say it is not transitive. Clear? Fine. So therefore, whenever you are not able to find two elements like this, then you have to immediately say that it is transitive. If you are not able to find, if you are able to find and it is A comma C does not belong to R, then it becomes not transitive. Only in that case it becomes, you should be able to find the element A comma B and B comma C, and A comma C should not be in R. Then that is the only case you say that it is not transitive. In all other case it is transitive. In all other case it is transitive. Fine. So copy this, and I will stop the video here. You can watch my the continuation of this is in the next video. Please watch my next video. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.